This spring, I've been thinking a lot about how to create more out of love for what I do, rather than out of fear of not doing it good enough. My name is Sofia, I'm 22 years old. I'm an artist, working mainly with watercolor on paper. In my work, I often depict the body as a living organism that feels changes, contracts, or falls apart. Through the states of the figures I draw, I experience my own emotions. I'm very honest in my paintings, and for a long time drawing was my main way of communicating with myself and the outside world. But sometimes I feel like I don't exist outside of my paintings, as if it's the only thing that defines me, which is not actually true at all. The idea of this video is to show not only the finished work, but also the process of creating it. What surrounded me and inspired me during that time, and what my life looked like. This spring, I decided to create out of love, not out of fear. I've always enjoyed filming small pieces of my life, and now I actually want to find the courage to put them all together in a full video and share it, even if it's imperfect. I hope you too find some inspiration in this. March started with my first watercolor workshops. I kept putting it off for a very long time. I'd never organized anything like this before and was honestly really scared. But it turned out to be much simpler than I expected. Now it feels more like a weekly gathering with people I truly enjoy being around. Sharing what I know, watching their eyes light up when things start to work out, and simply spending time in a way that feels good while doing what I love most. This month I started a new painting that I turned into an installation later. I feel like the process of this work is just as interesting as the outcome, and that's why I want to share it. I don't usually think too much about the idea for my next drawing. I just have a particular image in mind that gets a hold of me, and if it stays with me long enough, that's how I know it's something meaningful, something I should bring to life. I find this process most sincere because I end up painting the idea at a stage when it hasn't yet transformed into a thought or into words. I paint what I feel before I can fully understand it. I start out with a sketch and then draw it on a larger sheet of paper with a very light outline, so it won't be visible later under the watercolor.
А ты там управляешь?
Кирюк, да?
Да, ну понимаешь, чтобы его надо отчаливать, да. Вот, и как тут. Так, ладно. Может, нам завтра устроить большое путешествие, раз уж я не работаю? вторым утром и большое наводнение.
Да. I don't see my paintings as just pieces of paper in a frame. I see them as objects that go beyond the paper itself. One of the main features of my technique is peeling off the top layer of paper in certain places. I pour water on the areas I want to peel, and once the paper is wet enough, I tear it off. This creates a special texture. My approach is not just about painting, it's also very tactile. Tearing the paper is my way of making the figure more exposed. It shows not just softness, but also fragility, vulnerability, making the subject even more unprotected.
То видео. Как узлочек. Наигрался.
I usually work with lots of water on very wet paper. This is thick watercolor paper that holds water well and doesn't create waves. I enjoy dripping colors almost chaotically. It looks really bright at first, but then I mix everything together with a brush. The textured areas of the paper absorb water and color differently, so those spots end up darker. That's why I purposely tear off the spots where shadows are meant to be. For the first layer, I do an underpainting to set the color palette for all the pieces. So I paint them all together while the paper is still wet.
Строчечку, понимаешь?
Today I'm painting the second layer on all the pieces and adding details. Now I'm focusing on each piece separately, but I always compare them to each other so they look like one. I've always preferred warm skin colors for my figures, but lately they turn out much colder. Usually the color palette is defined by how I feel in a certain period of time. The colors I use change with me, naturally, as I grow and change as a person. I'm finishing the work by securing the elements with nylon thread, for now in my home studio, to get an image of how I want it to look in the gallery. The idea was to place this work specifically in a space, to have the figures arranged one behind another, casting shadows onto each other, creating even more volume and depth. Here, the body seems to be either born or, on the contrary, falling apart. It breathes and feels. It is tender and at the same time rough, smooth and scratchy, fragile and strong, powerful and afraid to show its weakness. Well, it actually took me months to edit this video, even though I promised myself not to overthink every step. So I can't really say that I've managed to be creative without pressure and self-criticism. But I did complete the edit, which rarely happens with all of the footage I have. It was supposed to be a little spring video, and now it's the middle of summer. The good thing about it, though, is that I can finally wrap it up with some good news. At the beginning of summer, the painting I've been working on was actually displayed at my first solo art show. I didn't manage to install it in the space as planned, but I'm still very happy with the outcome. The figures remain floating, as each piece is hung separately, creating shadows and rhythm. I feel like I tried so many things for the first time during filming this video. I realized how much I like documenting my creative process and just life. That I hope that I will continue doing that with less and less fear and pressure. And I really hope that you enjoyed this little journey as well and will stick around for the next one.